I've been eating instant ramen since I was a kid, since I was just a little wee lad. It's tasty, but there's one problem. It's boring, especially after you've been eating the same thing for over a decade. Well, today, we're gonna change that. Today, I'm taking instant ramen and turning it into 3 cheap and easy gourmet meals that you can make right at home, and ranking which one is my favorite at the very end. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. Recipe number 1. This is a recipe that went viral a few months ago, but it's so delicious I had to share it with you guys. It is the viral Buldak ramen recipe that I saw from my buddy Michael at Food with Bare Hands. I've already made this, but I'm gonna make it again because you guys need to try this. Ingredients: 1 pack of Buldak Carbonara instant ramen, 2 tablespoons of mayo. I recommend Kewpie because it is the GOAT. 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. I am using garlic. Usually I would never do this, but I'm feeling lazy, so that's what we're going with. 1 egg yolk, 1 soft boiled egg, 1 tablespoon of chili oil or chili crisp, and some green onions. Before we make the ramen, we're gonna make the soft boiled eggs. Bring some water to a boil and gently lower your eggs in and boil these for 6.5 minutes exactly. I do recommend gently lowering these into the boiling water using like a spider strainer or something similar so you don't crack the eggshells. If you do, the egg whites could start to spill out and then your eggs are gonna look like prolapsed bee holes, and nobody wants that. Whenever they're done, immediately plunge them into an ice bath for 5 minutes to stop the cooking process. After that 5 minutes, they're ready to peel. I love this like crush and roll method or whatever you want to call it. And if you're gonna boil eggs, you might as well boil a lot at one time so you can have a little snacky poo for later, you know what I'm saying? And if you guys want to upgrade these eggs to soy marinated ramen eggs, which I highly recommend because they're delicious, I just forgot to make them last night, you guys can use this recipe from my last video. So in our mason jar, we've got 2 ounces of water, and we're gonna go in with 3/4 of a cup of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. Give that a mix and gently put in all of your eggs. Seal it up, gently marinate all those eggs into the fridge for at least 2 hours or overnight, or you can just eat them pretty much right away. They're just not gonna be nearly as flavorful. Now it's time to make the ramen. So bring some water to a boil, and while that comes to a boil, make a paste with the seasoning packets that were included with the Buldak Carbonara ramen, some Kewpie mayo, your egg yolks, and minced garlic. Whisk and set aside. Boil the noodles according to package instructions. This happens pretty quick. I think it only took like 5 minutes for these. Whenever they're done, reserve a half a cup of ramen water and strain the rest. You're gonna mix that ramen water with the paste and whisk until combined, and then you're gonna build your ramen bowl. Add your noodles and top with some chili crisp, some sliced green onions, and your soft boiled egg. And make sure to get some crispy B-roll of your finished ramen and enjoy. Just like that, ramen recipe number 1 is done. I'm not gonna try it yet. I'm gonna be trying all 3 of these at the end and rating them to decide which one is my favorite. All of the recipes will be down in the description box below. And if you guys make any of these recipes, please post a picture of these like on your story, on your Instagram or whatever, and tag me at Dylan Nober. I love seeing you guys make my recipes. On to the next one. Ramen recipe number 2 comes from Andy Cooks, who's a cutie pie. Just look at it. I saw this in his video a while back, but I wanted to save it for this video. It has peanut butter in the noodles. I've never tried this one, but peanut butter noodles are fire, so I know this is gonna be delicioso. Ingredients: some Maruchan gold spicy miso ramen. It has a soup base, which is what we want for this recipe. He used black shin ramen, but I have this, so I'm gonna use it. 2 whisked eggs, some optional shredded chicken. I had some of this for my meal prep, so I'm gonna throw that in. I'm just gonna chop it up into small pieces. Some sliced green onion with the greens and the whites separated. I'm also gonna give these green onions a rough chop. I don't want like a big chunk of green onion in my ramen, but you can do whatever you want, brother. Chop them up, leave them whole, whatever your heart desires. A couple tablespoons of crunchy peanut butter, which is what he recommends, but you can use creamy if you want. He'll just judge you. And making another appearance, the chili crisp. To make this ramen, you're going to start by boiling a couple of cups of water and add the seasoning packets from the ramen and about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter to the water and stir it to break it up. Once it's boiling, add your nudes. Cook according to package instructions just like the last one, and after about 45 seconds, you can add the chicken if you're using it and the green onion whites. Once it's just about done cooking, slowly stir in the whisked eggs and cook for like 30 seconds or so. This will thicken up your ramen. Kill the heat and add almost all of the green onions and mix to combine. Save some of your green onions to garnish your final dish with. This cooks really fast. It's already done. Now it's time to build your bowl. Add the ramen and the broth to a bowl and top with green onions and as much chili crisp as your pretty little heart desires. And look at how beautiful she is. Ramen recipe number 2 is done and dusted. Andy Cook's peanut butter instant ramen recipe. I think I may have this up just a little bit, but this came together super quick. It smells delicious. I've never tried this one, but I'm so excited to. Just let me get a sniff. What the f is wrong with me? Before we go on to the next recipe, if I land this trick, you guys have to subscribe. Deal? Sweet. Subscribe, baby. Let's go. On to the third and final recipe. Let's do it. The final ramen recipe is going to make Italians cry, and I apologize, but you guys need to try this. Carbonara instant ramen. And before you bitch at me about this not being traditional, because I know the carbonara is a point of contention on the internet. For some reason, it's not traditional anyways. We're using goddamn ramen noodles to make this, okay? So it's not gonna be traditional. I wanna keep these meals cheap and easy, just like you. Ingredients: 1 packet of instant ramen. The flavor doesn't really matter because we're not using the flavoring packet, we're just using the noodles. 3 to 4 slices of bacon, not guanciale, bacon. Bacon is cheap and accessible for most people. I'm using bacon instead of guanciale. About 1/4 cup of pecorino romano or Parmesan cheese, which is what I'm gonna be using. A couple egg yolks, black pepper. I'm using freshly ground and toasted black peppercorns. You can use ground pepper if you want to. I just have this available, so that's what I'm gonna use. It does taste better than just regular ground pepper. And salt. That's literally it. This is a very, very simple recipe, but it does require some technique, which I'll show you guys, because if you don't do it correctly, you might fuck it up, which I might, but if you do it correctly, it's very delicious. First, we're gonna start with our bacon. I'm gonna use like 4 to 5 slices because I'm doubling this recipe. We're gonna start in a cold pan, put it over on the stovetop behind us while I get everything else prepped. I'm gonna do this in a cold pan over medium heat, so all that fat kind of like renders out and the bacon gets nice and crispy, which is what you want. And while the bacon heats up in the background, we're gonna make our like egg yolk, cheese, pepper paste that's gonna be mixed in with the cooked noodles. So to make the paste, we're gonna start by separating 2 to 3 egg yolks and add them to a bowl. Hopefully you're a little more graceful than me because I think I broke every single one of them. Next, grind up your cheese. I recommend using this like fine setting on the cheese grater. It makes it easier to mix. And finally, a few pinches of your black pepper. Mix everything until it's combined and this thick yellow paste is formed. Next, heavily salt your water and bring it to a boil. While that heats up, your bacon should be just about done. Cut it up into small pieces. Add the rest of it back to the pan over a low heat. That's important with the bacon fat, but reserve a few pieces to garnish your final dish with. Now boil your noodles according to package instructions. Again, this only takes like 3 to 4 minutes. It goes pretty quick. And once they're done, reserve some pasta water, kill the heat on your pan with the bacon and add the noodles to the pan and mix with the bacon fat for a few seconds. Then add your paste and continuously stir until the entire dish is creamy and emulsified. It only took me like a couple minutes. There's still going to be enough heat in the pan to cook the egg yolks and melt the cheese, but not too much to where it's going to scramble the eggs. That's where you can mess it up. Continuously stir and don't cook it too hot. Add some pasta water if you need to. Add your finished ramen to a warm bowl. You can just run some hot water over a bowl and then dry it off before serving. Top your finished dish with some extra bacon and serve. I've been cooking all damn day and I'm ready to eat. Let's compare these 3 and rank them and see which one is my favorite. Taste test. Ramen number 1. Ramen number 2. Andy cooks peanut butter noodles. I'm using a fork for the carbonara. Fuck it. This one's very, very tough because all of these are delicious, but if I had to pick just one, you guys should make all 3, but if I had to pick just one to eat, it's probably gonna be the carbonara ramen. It is so creamy and smoky from that bacon. Very, very simple, but so much flavor. There's a reason why people love carbonara so much. So make all 3 of these, tag me on Instagram. All the recipes will be down in the description box below. Don't forget to chew with your mouth closed because chewing with your mouth open is absolutely disgusting, and subscribe. Love you. Bye.